Good day and welcome to Pokemon Lair. My name is TD and we are unboxing a box of Pokemon cards I sent to Professional Sports Authority 18 months or so ago, beginning of 2020 I guess, and I got them back. They sent them in this nice box packaged well to keep them from getting damaged in shipping. Let me get them out of here and let's see what grades I got. We are looking at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Magneton, a first edition Holo card, the number 11. Looking at the front surface of this card and the graphics and everything, the holographics really pop in the light here, but there are a couple of scratches going just above, across the holographic, very fine scratches just above the Magneton. Our edges and our corners look really clean, and our centering, I think, from top to bottom and side to side are all within tolerance. As I look at the back, I can't find much wrong with it. The graphics look really good, and the surface, our centering, I think, is within spec from all four sides. Looking at our corners, the only thing I can see is a slight speck on the upper left corner. And that's going to give us a grade of near mint 8 for old Magneton here. That's better than I thought I was going to get with those scratches. You're looking at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Weezing, a first edition, the number 31 card. As we look at the surface of this card, you can see that there's no damage or staining. Our centering looks pretty good from top to bottom and side to side. I think it's within spec. Looking at our corners or our edges, I don't see any problems that will affect the grade. As I turn this card over and look at the back, I can tell that the surface is really clean. There's no problems there. Our centering, I think, is within spec from top to bottom and side to side. As we get to our corners and our edges are pretty good. Our corners, we have some damage on the upper left and a couple specks on the lower right. And for this Dark Weezing, we're going to get a grade of mint 9. I like the 9s. Keep them coming. Looking at this 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Vileplume Holo First Edition, the number 13 card. As you can see, the front surface looks really dazzling under the light with this holographic. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think, is all within spec. Looking at our corners and our edges, I don't see any damage. I think this is going to be a pretty good card. As we turn to the back, you can see that the surface is just as beautiful as the front. Looking at our centering, I think it's all within spec. Finally, looking at our corners and our edges, I don't see really any edge damage or fraying or like that, but there is a slight bend. It's not really a bend, it's more of a ding in the upper left corner. And that's going to give us a grade of mint 9. That little deflection or ding on the upper left kept us out of a 10. Let us look at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Dragonair, a first edition, the number 33 card. Dragonair's surface looks really clean. I don't see any damage to the front of the card. Our centering looks really good from top to bottom and side to side. I think all within spec. And our edges and our corners have no damage. As I look at the back, I can see that its surface is really clean. No blemishes, no problems there. Looking at our edges and our corners, I think they're really clean. I was really surprised at that. But looking at our centering here, our centering is off to the left, and I think it took us out of the spec for the back. And that's going to give us a good grade of mint 9. A 9 for a Dragonair. I like this card. It's a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Here Comes Team Rocket, a first edition Holo, the number 15 card. Looking at the front surface of this card, you can see that it looks clean. There's no damage. The hull looks fantastic. Our centering from top to bottom and side to side, I'm sure, is within spec. And finally, looking at our corners and our edges, I don't see any issues that I can find. As we look to the back, you can see that the surface is really clean. There's no problems. Our centering, I think, is within tolerance from top to bottom and side to side. But as we look to our edges and corners, the edges look good, but our two left corners and lower right corner have some damage. And that's going to give us a grade of mint 9 for this Here Comes Team Rocket. I like it. I like it a lot. This card is not very available around the that I could see. Let us look at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Flareon, a first edition, the number 35 card. Flareon here looks really good. I like the surface of this card. There's no damage. Our centering, I think, is with intolerance from top to bottom and side to side. I don't see any damage to our edges or our corners. Looking at the back, you can see that the surface is really good and the graphics are clean. Our centering is off to the left, possibly out of spec. Looking at our edges and our corners, our edges look really good, but our upper left corner does have some damage. Let's turn it back to the front, and our grade's going to be a mint 9 for this Flareon. Man, I like the 9s. We're looking at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Rainbow Energy, a Holo first edition, the number 17 card. As you can see, the Holo looks really good on this under the light. Our centering, I think, is within spec from top to bottom and side to side. And finally, looking at our corners and our edges, I don't see any issues there. This is a really beautiful card. Continuing to the back, you can see that the surface is clean and of any damage. There's no issues. Our centering, I think, is within spec from top to bottom and probably within spec from left to right. Looking at our edges are clean. And finally, looking to our corners, the upper left corner has some slight damage. And that's going to give us a grade of mint 9 for this Holo Energy, Rainbow Energy. Love it. I like it. I'm looking at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Golduck, a first edition, the number 37 card. The Dark Golduck's front surface is really clean. There's no damage, stains, or anything like that. Our centering, I think, is with intolerance from side to side and top to bottom. Our edges and our corners, I show no damage. As I look at the back of the card, you can see that the surface is clean, free of staining or any damage. Our centering looks a little to the left, but I think it possibly with intolerance, and our top to bottom looks with intolerance for the centering. Looking at our edges are clean. Our corners, we have some damage and looks almost flattening to the upper two corners. And that's going to give us a grade of mint 9 for this Golduck. I like it. Man, I like these cards the way they're turning out. Let's look at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Arbok, a first edition, the number 19 card. This Arbok is really clean on the front. I don't see any damage or any staining or dirt. Our centering from side to side definitely looks with intolerance. From our top to bottom, it's slightly towards the top, and I hope it's intolerance, but I'm not sure. Looking at the back, you can see that the centering looks a little better. It still looks good on the side to side. It's towards the top on the back, but probably with intolerance. Looking at our surface, it's really clean. Finally, looking at our edges and corners, the two right corners have some damage. And that's going to give us a grade of mint 9 for this Arbok. I like it. Man, these grades are turning out pretty good. We're looking at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Kadabra, a first edition, the number 39 card. Looking at the front surface of this card, you can see there's no staining, creases, or bends. Our centering looks pretty good from side to side and top to bottom, probably all within spec. Looking at our centering, our edges and our corners, I think they're clean, there's no damage. The back looks pretty good, the surface does. Our centering, I think, is within spec from top to bottom and side to side. We have a pretty good piece of damage on the upper right corner. Our edges look good, and there's some slight damage to the upper left corner. And that's going to give us a grade of mint 9 for this Kadabra. It's pretty good. I like the 9s. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe or like, and remember, you gotta catch them all.